Hello, my name is Lee Cummings, the author of the Negro Question book series. Good to have you. Brief video, maybe 17 to 20 minutes long. Uh, and the title of this video is The Eyewitness Account. Every nation that conquered Israel, the northern kingdom, and Judah, the southern kingdom, took a snapshot of him. And they generally carved the images of the Israelites on their walls. Here's an artifact image from the palace at Nimrud down in modern Iraq. The artifact has been snapshotted and is being presented at the British Museum in England and in the Louvre Museum in France, down in Paris, France. And as you can see, this artifact depicts the Hebrew Israelites as they're going into the Assyrian captivity with cornrows, and their beards have been braided. This is an authentic artifact, uh, and it flies um, uh, uh, in opposition to the narrative in this generation, which is 2025 AD, where we got some people in Jerusalem or Yarushalayim who are saying that they are the Jews, but they do not look like the artifacts. I'm gonna stop this share here because I have something else that I want to show you guys, and it's not gonna be moving. Um, but let me see if I can show you this. I want to show you some other artifacts that we found that give a real good indication of who the real Jews are and what they look like in their generation. And so here's an artifact that comes to us uh, from the palace at Nimrud, the walls, ancient Assyria, and the British Museum. This depicts the Assyrians taking the Hebrew Israelites into captivity between the years 725, 712 BC. Now, what's interesting about this artifact is that it matches 100% to the biblical account of the Assyrian invasion and captivity. Look at this. I'm going to pick this up at 2 Kings, the 18th chapter, and the 13th verse. Now, the 14th year of King Hezekiah did Sennacherib, king of Assyria, come up against all the fenced cities of Judah and took them. And Hezekiah, king of Judah, sent to the king of Assyria to Lachish, saying, I have offended, return from me. Now listen. So not only does this artifact depict the Assyrians taking the 10 tribes into captivity, taking Judah into captivity, it reads from from your Bible as if somebody read the Bible, ran down into ancient Assyria and drew these artifacts on the wall. But look at the artifact, look at the imagery. Here's on your far left is the Assyrian soldier. But look at the two Hebrews or the two Jews, the Judeans. They got nappy hair and they're depicted as black men. On the next page, what I did was I cropped off one of the images so you could get a better look at the Judean that is being taken into captivity. He has braided nappy hair and he's depicted as a black man. Now who am I to believe? Guy says, a guy robbed me. He had on a red hat, he had on a yellow suit, and he had on some blue shoes. God forbid somebody would dress like that. He's the eyewitness. Police come back around the corner with a guy with an all black suit on. The eyewitness says that's not the man. So who are you going to believe? Are you going to believe the eyewitness in 722 BC, 712, 725? Or are you going to believe this modern historian who is spinning a narrative to agree with the ruling party? Let's go a little further in this. This is an image of some Hebrews being flayed the Assyrians were known for their brutality when they invaded and conquered a nation. Well, these Hebrews were flayed alive. And if you were to zoom in on the artifact, you would see this nappy hair again with the braids. I didn't want to focus on that though, because we had just seen it, we had saw the prior or the previous artifact. This right here is a prism. It's called the Sennacherib prism, and it mentions the invasion of Lachish, Judah, and King Hezekiah. You can find this artifact at the British Museum. And he says inside in the bowels of the prism, as for King of Judah, Hezekiah, who had not submitted to my authority. But I want to see if we can pick his name up, verse 14, 2 Kings 18 and 14. And Hezekiah, king of Judah, sent to the king of Assyria to Lachish, saying, I have offended. Return from me. That which thou puttest on me will I bear. And the king of Assyria appointed unto Hezekiah, king of Judah, 300 talents of silver and 30 talents of gold. And if you want to get the name of this king, you go backwards to verse 13. Now, the 14th year of King Hezekiah did Sennacherib, king of Assyria, come up against all the fenced cities of Judah and took them. So the biblical account matches almost word verbatim with this prism that Sennacherib wrote his history on. Now, it goes on to say, as for the king of Judah, I'm going to read from the prison just for a moment, because I want to show you a number. As for the king of Judah, Hezekiah, who had not submitted to my authority, I besieged and captured 46 of his fortified cities, along with many smaller towns, taken in battle with my battering rams. I took as plunder 200,150 people, both small and great, male and female, along with a great number of animals, including horses, mules, donkeys, camels, oxen, and sheep. As for Hezekiah, I shut him up like a caged bird in his royal city of Jerusalem. So the biblical account matches the prism, and this also shows me something else. We have an external account of the existence of the Hebrew Israelites without the use of the Bible. I got a lesson that I do where I show Israel, I show the Israelites using artifacts and eyewitness accounts as a primary source, and then I use the Bible as a secondary source to back it up. But anyway, as you can see, your biblical account matches the artifacts. And what's interesting to note is how the captors describe the Israelites in their paintings and their carvings and drawings. These Israelites are always depicted as men of color. Now, I want to show you something else, go a little further in this. We found a seal. Well, there was a seal that was excavated in the land of Israel that shows a seal with Hezekiah's name on it. Another further proof that the biblical account of a king by the name of Hezekiah is validated by these artifacts. And this was written in the language of the Hebrews, Aramaic. It says, this is the Lamid, it says, La Hazika, which is to Hezekiah. Ahaz, which was his father. Melech Yahuda, king of Judah. So this seal not only does it mention Hezekiah, Het, Zain, Kof, Yod, He, Wal, Hezekiah, but it mentions his father, Ahaz, the king of Judah. Now, I'm just mentioning this briefly because we got some people running around talking about that the language, what we say, Shif He, the language or Lashan, the tongue of the Hebrews was modern Hebrew. No, this Aramaic inscription on this seal has a carbon dating of around 722 BC, 722, 725 BC. But I want to show you just a brief video where the late Pope Francis is talking to Netanyahu, and he verifies what I said, what I just stated. They spoke Aramaic from the days of Aram, from the days of Adam to the days of Shem and his youngest son being Aram, to the days of the one we call Jesus / Yeshua or Yahashua. They got a lot of names for him, but the Lord knows who those who are his based on the keeping of his holy days. So let's stop this, and let's run down here and grab this video on Pope Francis. Then I'm gonna run back here, do my share, and let's hear what the late Pope had to say about that seal. Now, that seal that I showed you was written in Aramaic. So let's listen in on this conversation of the late Pope and Netanyahu. Let's get rid of that. Let's go.
Sì, la relazione tra il cristianesimo e l'ebraismo che partivano dalla stessa fonte. Gesù ha vissuto qui, parlava ebraico.
Aramaico?
Parlava come conosceva l'ebraico.
You see that? So Netanyahu tried to lie and say that Yeshua or Jesus spoke Hebrew, and then the Pope said no, he spoke Aramaic. And one of the things about what was just mentioned by this Pope is that we got a lot of people running around saying a lot of things that just don't make sense. The word for Aramaic, the word for Syria, the original name of Syria was Aramay or Aram. So when the Syrian kings came up and spoke to the kings of Israel and Judah, they had a fluid conversation in Aramaic all throughout the scriptures. Damascus was in the land of Aram, Damascus, and they spoke Aramaic. And so Paul, while he was down there, he spoke the language as well. But that's not the focus of the video today. Focus of the video today was that everybody that fought against the Israelites and captured the Israelites took a snapshot picture of him. So today I showed you the eyewitness account of the Assyrian Empire, what they saw an Israelite a Hebrew Israelite to look like and to be, and so they carved it on the walls in Nimrud in modern Iraq. Next time I come, I'll do a piece on Babylon, and I'll show you how the Babylonians perceived the Hebrew Israelites. And then I add something else into it, but that's all I got. And as you can see, in all my conclusions, I show you my catalog of all the books, some of the books that I wrote. You can visit the Negro Question Bookstore at thenegroquestion.com or the Negro Question Bookstore.ecwit.com, or you can even go to Amazon. That's all I got today. I want to thank you for your time, and continue to read, stay focused. And I expect to cross the finish line, and I expect to see you at the finish line.